I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift. Oh,
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
yeah. There's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
That's it, the end of the song. Next time you'll sing along. Trust me, there's nothing wrong. I just need to carry on, cause society's a myth put there to make you sit. Listen to what they give. Don't ask questions, shut your lid. Yeah, don't ask questions, shut your lid. I need to run away from this and go get off the grid. Feel like my brain is overloaded, man, I'm losing it. Don't let them tell you what to do, man, they don't know shit.
What's up, Fresh? Good morning. We're going to continue.
Midnight each day.
On Valentine's night,
Time as you know it freezes.
20 minutes past 10.
Keep up, Doctor.
Thinks we're going to smother her in her sleep.
I'm a grave digger, Doctor.
I was at home,
David is my husband.
all on my lonesome.
Stabbed him with a steak knife.
Nothing changes.
I'm a qualified angel of death.
When I'm dancing,
You get this day over and over.
Hilda.
I black
I
out,
don't think she's got long.
And Laurie just...
naked on the beach.
Hannah.
Is that it for today?
Naked on the beach. Is that it for today?
David hunts,
I can change my skin.
then skins.
Dr. Decker dated his patients.
I had a hot date.
We went out for drinks.
I took photos of Jessica.
Dr. Decker did
On
phone
Valentine's Day.
and ask me for Nathan's number.
There was a girl there.
Am I wrong to keep the locket?
I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I?
He was preoccupied with finding
Photographs.
patterns.
Rocking chair.
I haven't been back to the beach since,
I had a bit of a shaky loop incident.
where I find something
I set fire
beautiful in the sea.
to Hannah's clothes in the garden. I dug the grave.
I wish I'd said goodbye.
Dr. Decker cursed me.
It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it.
Alright, Nathan, you first. How are you today?
I burned Hannah's rocking chair. The day moved forward. It was a good choice. I'm not sure I've got much left of hers now. I've burnt most of it, or given it away, just to make the days move forward. There was a moment when I was attacking a Salvation Army bin, but I gave in.
Not you attacking the Salvation Army bin.
I accidentally put Hannah's diary into a Salvation Army donation bin. They're like huge post boxes with a circular tray that makes sure things spill to the bottom. I tried to get in to get it back, but I gave up.
But did you read the diary?
I read the last few weeks of Hannah's diary a while ago. I must have accidentally dropped in some clothes for the Salvation Army bin. It's funny, because I wasn't going to read it. She said she'd fallen out of love with me. That she was going to break off the engagement. That she didn't love me anymore. I regretted it.
Damn. What do you regret? Reading it?
I regretted that I mourned for Hannah so long. I regret the grief. I regret all the days I slept through because of it. Had I known she didn't love me anymore, things would have been different. I'm a bit angry now. If I had that day over again, I may just still pull out in front of the driver. Can we maybe not talk about Hannah anymore? And thanks for the dating advice, by the way.
But did you follow?
I signed up for a dating website. It's a bit easy, to be honest. If I message something they don't like, I change it when the day replays. It's not very honest.
Why?
If I'm being honest, I'd probably rather ask out one of the patients I've seen here.
What's up, Sandy? How you doing?
The friendly redhead with the accent.
So you like Mariana? Do you know about the paper spike?
I didn't notice Dr. Decker had a paper spike. I haven't really seen more than a foot in front of me since Hannah died.
So what else can you tell me about?
I've told you all I know about Dr. Decker. He started out good, then turned a bit crazy towards the end. When you start giving people more problems as a therapist, that's a bit crazy.
Yeah, that's true. But what problems did Decker give you?
I started out with depression. Now I seem to repeat days. Even if you don't believe the repeat days, then I clearly have extra mental health problems that he's given me. I think that he possibly cursed other people, a bit like he cursed me. Sometimes you could see he was bursting to tell me about it, but he couldn't. He was ecstatic with power.
What was that? How did Decker curse you?
Ah, the curse. Well remembered. I was hoping you'd forget. It's going to sound crazy. Dr. Decker said I would never be able to move forward until I came to terms with my grief. And so from this point on, I start to relive the same day over and over again until I made something of it. I believed him. I didn't want to believe him. I remember I said, you can't just say things and they happen. He laughed and laughed. I think he was going mad. He said he'd give me a demonstration.
What demonstration?
He held his hand outstretched and told me to look at the flame. There was no flame, and then there was. He was holding a flame in his hand that had come out of nowhere. And he tried to hypnotize me to make me forget it.
Fresh 777 Gaming wants you to use your creepiest voice for the next minute.
Wow, use my creepiest voice? Bro. For the next minute? I don't have a creepy voice. Let's see. You remember the flame even though he hypnotized you.
I didn't forget seeing the flame. He wanted me to forget it all, but I didn't. For whatever reason, he couldn't undo what he'd done. I was scared.
How are you doing?
I pretended like the hypnosis had worked.
Welcome.
Why were you scared?
I was scared what Dr. Decker would do to me if he found out I still knew. So I had to play along. Keep coming to the sessions.
I'm gonna have to delete
Pretend
that
I hadn't
card.
seen what he'd done.
That card sucks.
It was awful, because I was suffering through the same days over and over again. But I couldn't talk to him about it, because he'd know.
Good, my time's up. Hey, Rita, how are you doing? OG had me talking in a creepy voice. But how are you doing? Why did Decker want you to forget?
He'd become bored of me, so I got much of my insight from calls or messages he'd take during our sessions. I think because he hypnotized me, he didn't want to play with me anymore, so I got basic therapist.
Basic therapist.
He told me lots of people get depression, to become more active, see more people. And although he wouldn't always be there to listen, Jaya would be.
I'm doing alright, about to tackle this hair and then work. Hey, what you about to do to your hair?
Yeah, I talked to her quite a lot. I'm not sure how many days of that she'd remember. She seemed to care, which is more I can say for
No.
Decker.
You can craft some of them, but no, that takes the fun out of you picking your own cards. They're packs. Did you kill Decker so you wouldn't have to suffer through repeat days?
I didn't kill Dr. Decker. I wanted to be as far away from him as possible.
It's
I don't
good.
know who did.
Better day than yesterday, that's for sure. Perhaps you should ask someone else a question. Okay, we're done, Nathan? We're done, Nathan? Okay. Mariana. I colored it a little bit yesterday, but it's not enough. What you colored it? What color?
I'm okay. Thanks for asking. It's rent day, and I always feel a little blue on rent day.
Everybody feels blue on rent day. We're like paying rent. We're giving up most of the money. I colored it a little. Oh, that's not the color. What you mean rent? What's rent day? He don't pay rent? He ain't never paid rent before in his life?
Rent day is the day I pay rent to my landlady.
Duh. Like, why was that even a question?
I've had no blackouts, and I haven't been to the beach since our last session. But I think I will today. Do you want to come with me to the beach?
No, hot ass. I don't want to go to the beach with you.
Doctor, I think you're getting a little anxious. If you ever wanted to visit the beach, you can just turn up. It's not mine. You've got a good memory, Doctor. Let's talk dreams. Sometimes I'll dream about a light, deep in the ocean somewhere.
Maria is your pick.
I head towards it because it's warm and glowing like a beacon. And when I'm at the bottom, it's the most beautiful thing.
Green.
Like a welcoming
Colored your hair
sun.
green.
Like I'm home. And then I wake up.
She is definitely not my pick. Okay, got alert so I can get it done. Need to have it done before tomorrow. Okay, I appreciate it.
It's so beautiful. Calls me. It's like I'm in a trance. What does the dream mean, Doctor? Yes, I suppose I follow that glow like people follow me. I still don't know what it means, though.
Some of it.
Dr. Decker used to put my checks on that thing. I guess someone thought they weren't getting value for money. I actually don't have a lot of money. Sometimes a therapy check would bounce, but Dr. Decker would be okay with it. Oh, my checks are fine, though, don't worry. I'm not broke. Men buy me drinks at bars, though. Sometimes I'll get away with not paying at restaurants. Isn't that how it is for everybody?
Maria be using what she got to get what she want. Go ahead, Mariana.
I mainly like drive-thrus. I don't like crowds, and I find it difficult to stay in the same place for too long. I guess I'm a fidget. Crowds at nightclubs and bars are different. The lights are dim. You can slink around without attracting too much attention.
On Fresh 777 Gaming, play this card. Pay viewer's name 5 times.
Really, Fresh? Or are you just gonna like bombard me with all these cards all at once? OG Fresh, OG Fresh, OG Fresh, OG Fresh, OG Fresh. What's up, Lita? How are you doing?
Sometimes I'll kiss a guy in a club, and then he just follows me. Wherever I go. It's creepy. I don't want everyone seeing that.
To the beach.
They follow me wherever I go. Anywhere. Where do you think they follow me, Doctor?
To the beach.
It depends where they follow me. If they follow me home, they bang on the door for an hour or so, then leave. Other places, they just disappear. I don't see them again. They don't just disappear into thin air. I think they return to the place I found them. But I've not run into the same person twice.
Got myself COVID, just cough and low energy. Other than that, pretty good. How are you? Dang, you got the COVIDs? I hope you feel better. I'm good. Better day today than yesterday.
Yes, Doctor, sometimes they follow me to the beach, and the next thing I remember, I'm blacked out. And naked. Shivering in the sand. Who knows what happened to them?
That's Bryce be following you. No, I don't want that. I want...
It's just good manners to accept when someone offers to buy you a drink. I'm a very good-natured girl.
We noticed.
Don't you think I'm sweet, Doctor?
Yeah, you're sweet.
I think you're falling for me, Doctor.
No.
Don't let that get in the way of helping me.
Girl, I don't want you. Trust me.
Yes, They follow me home. They're silent.
This your third time?
It's like a trance.
Jeez. Maybe you should start leaving the house with a mask on. Only had it once and don't want it again. Do they follow you to bed?
There was one guy, a real gym buddy. I let him into the bedroom, but nothing. Nothing I did would stop him just staring at me. It was creepy. I got him to follow me outside, and then I just shut the door. Are we still talking about him?
Yes.
And I thought you were just interested in me, Doctor.
Girl, bye. We're trying to figure out who killed Dr. Decker. This is not a social call.
Dr. Decker suggested home visits.
Of course he did.
I think he was probably checking up on his investment. You're not thinking of doing home visits, are you, Doctor?
No, and what investment? He paying your rent?
That's good. I'm not sure I can afford any more of your time.
Next person. Elaine, she is thirsty, Lita. Very. This lady right here works in a nursing home and all her patients end up dead. And she claims that the patients give her things. So she's stealing from them too.
I'm fine. Work's fine. Hilda's fading fast. Terry's Terry. Oh, you'd be pleased to know I don't have the locket anymore. I gave it back. All of it. Every single keepsake.
Well, good for you. Good for you. You're not as bad as no.
Hilda's nearing
She's
the
still
end.
killing people. What's up,
She's been
DJ
sleeping
Tantrum?
a lot.
How you doing?
Not eating much. She hasn't been that argumentative either. Although, she did give me a vicious scratch yesterday.
Where'd she scratch you at?
It was nothing. I was just trying to give her meds. It's hard, you know. I'm trying to help her, but she keeps fighting me. It'll be better after she's seen her daughter. I've decided I'm going to do it tonight. She hasn't got much time left.
She scratched you because she knows you trying to kill her.
You know the answer to that, Doctor. What have we been talking about? What can I do for Hilda that will make it all better?
That's what she said. Are you going to kill Hilda?
Seriously? No, that isn't what I meant.
Yeah, right.
That's the plan.
It's hard
I
to
know. It sounds
Really?
unbelievable, like
Tantrum.
I'm making it up. I wish I could prove it to you somehow. We could try shifting now. Think of someone you really love. It might help if you close your eyes. Are you thinking of them? Can you picture them? Okay, hold on.
What's going on here?
Sorry, I don't think it's gonna work. On the bright side,
Because you made
that
this
probably
shit
means
up.
you're not gonna die anytime soon.
She gonna make that shit up talking about it's not gonna work.
It's tricky. I mean, I'll sound exactly like Hilda's daughter, but I try and keep it vague because I don't become her. I don't know what she would really say. I say things like, it's okay, don't be scared, I love you, Mum, or I love you, Dad. But it
What's
doesn't
up,
really
babe?
matter what their relationship's like because it's not really them. I always do the Disney version. The best, most loving version. That's what my patients want to hear. And maybe deep down they know it's not the truth, but it's got to be better than the reality. Does it really matter if it isn't the truth? Isn't it worth it if it brings them peace? Tell me honestly, doctor, do you really
Hey,
think
boss
that
lady,
what I'm
how you
doing is
doing?
wrong?
Maybe,
Good, because I really feel this is something I have to do.
I thought I put no. I meant to put no, shifting is not good.
Terry seems to have backed down since I gave the keepsakes back. Actually, it doesn't seem like she's been very well. Not her usual self.
She killing
Maybe she's got
Terry?
a bug or something.
She killing Terry, yo.
You told me to. Well, not in so many words, but you said I shouldn't have kept them. And what with Terry going around telling everyone I stole them, I didn't feel like I really had any choice. The lockets, the watch, the ring. But I kept the little bird Sarah Decker gave me. I wasn't supposed to mention her.
Sarah Decker?
Dr. Decker's mother. She was one of my first patients, but she died a while ago.
She done killed Dr. Decker's mother. Bruh.
It's true then. I'd heard Dr. Decker was stabbed, but I didn't know for sure. It's weird that whoever did it would choose the paper spike. Dr. Decker used to play with it in our sessions sometimes. You know, pick it up, handle it while we talked. I remember once, he pushed the spike through his skin. At this bit, here, between his thumb and his finger. He said he didn't think I'd mind the sight of blood, being a nurse and all that, but actually, there wasn't any. I was a bit freaked out. At first, I thought it was a trick. A magic trick, you know? Like some kind of therapeutic test. Show the patient this retractable spike and see how
Yeah,
they
but she
react.
poisoned them. She don't
It
stab.
wasn't. The spike was real.
How do you know the spike was real?
Dr. Decker gave me the paper spike to try. It wasn't fake. It was pretty sharp, actually. I don't know how he did it. He said he just thought that it wouldn't hurt him, so it didn't. As far as I know, it only works on people who are close to death. That's the whole point of it. I have to hold their hand, and they have to think of the person, and they have to be near death. And those seem to be the 3 criteria. It just makes things complicated, doesn't it? I knew Dr. Decker's mother before I started seeing Dr. Decker. She's dead, and now he's dead. I'm sure you're going to have a field day with it. Yeah, that's the reason I came to see him. I knew she was dying, but he refused to talk to me unless I booked a session, so I did. And well, here we are. I told Dr. Decker that his mum was dying, that he should see her before it's too late. But he wasn't interested. It wasn't like he hated her. It was just like...
You got it right,
it wasn't
leader.
important.
Yeah.
He asked me to take care of it for him. He did send his assistant along to see her once.
We ain't in
Sorry.
SB chat right now.
Your assistant.
You over here how about 69s? Lita, good job. What did Dr. Decker mean by take care of it?
It was about the second, third session we had. He said he could tell that I was a good person, that I wanted to help people, and that I should think really hard about how I could do that. That's how I discovered shifting.
Is this crazy bitch don't quit talking about shifting? Was it Dr. Decker's idea for you to shift?
All Dr. Decker did was encourage me to think. But the shifting, that's all me. And my mum's a psychic, and my sister's an empath, but I was just ordinary. I always felt like I wasn't special, like I was missing out. But I wasn't. I just hadn't discovered what I could do yet. Sarah Decker was one of the first ones I tried shifting for.
Did you shift for Sarah?
I didn't really know what I was doing that first time. I mean, I didn't actually expect anything to happen. I just thought, what would really help this woman? I thought maybe she would just imagine that he was there. But it actually happened. I changed into him, Dr. Decker. It blew my mind. My mum's got these spirit guides and they tell things. Mostly about my love life, you see.
Later.
To tell you the truth, I don't really know what an empath is. I should probably Google it sometime.
Claire.
I've been to the lake house regularly, keeping an eye on David. I saw the girl again, the one I told you about. She was playing outside.
Fits well. Have you seen your...
It makes for interesting reading, doesn't it? I can tell you're dying to ask me about it. Fire away. That's what it says. I can see you're confused. The police say that David is dead, fatally wounded when I stabbed him. The coroner says that David is dead. Everyone says that David is dead. There was even a funeral. But I know he's alive.
He dead. Why she had us thinking this fool be sitting in the lake house when she killed him?
He's buried at Henley Church. You can go see for yourself. There's even a headstone. One of your other patients was a pallbearer. I never forget her face. You should ask him.
It might be Nathan, because Nathan go to that church.
David wanted to have a talk about our relationship. Not something any married person wants to hear. He said he'd been with Iris for about a year and that he loved her. He said he didn't love me anymore. Which I know is a lie. You don't just fall out of love with somebody. I reacted badly.
Yeah, you can fall.
I grabbed the nearest weapon I could find, which happened to be the steak knife, and stabbed him with it. There was so much blood. I instantly regretted it. So I fixed him.
How you fixed him?
It was about a week later. I brought David back to life. Not with voodoo, not with virginal sacrifice. I just willed it to happen, and it did. Dr. Decker told me it was possible, but only if you're not buried. He says once you're in the ground, there's no coming back. But until then, you have a chance at resurrection.
Yeah, she more cuckoo than I thought.
Yes, resurrection. But now that I've seen the results, I don't think there's anything holy about it. I think reanimation is more an accurate term. Like, I'm an evil necromancer, raising things from the dead. I think his brain was already decaying during the week that he was dead. Important bits. So when I brought him back to life, I didn't heal him completely. Just gave him life in the state he was in. I mean, he's hunting and killing things and trying to roast them on fires he can only light with matches, but that's about it. He's your basic Neanderthal. So I have a problem.
Claire need to be in a padded room. Like, why is she out with society? Like, I'm not understanding that.
I'm being charged with murder because the police don't know he's still alive, and I can't get David to vouch for me for obvious reasons. I think it would raise quite a few more questions than answers, which is why I'm hoping that you'd be able to help me.
How am I supposed to help you? I can put you in a padded room with a straitjacket.
Considering the circumstances, I'd be grateful if you could see your way to declaring me temporarily insane at the time of the murder, to lessen my sentence. Because I'm not a killer, but I can't prove otherwise. You don't still think I'm a killer, do you, Doctor?
You crazy.
At worst, it's manslaughter. I didn't mean to kill him, I just stabbed him a bit. And although he was dead for a week, I brought him back to life. Does this mean you won't help me? Was I temporarily insane?
Yes, I can declare you temporary. No, you like crazy, like you insane.
I'm going to pretend that I didn't hear that. Let's have a few more sessions before you seal our fates. Or is it that you want something else? Like Dr. Decker did.
Dr. Decker just slept with all y'all women.
Dr. Decker teased me mercilessly about my eligibility. He didn't believe I'd reanimated David. Once he presented me with a dead mouse and commanded me to give it life again. I didn't, of course. It's not something I'd throw around lightly. He changed his mind about me eventually. And then he mentioned the girl.
Mariana?
He told me he'd locked up a girl in the basement of his house. Just for me. And he asked me to reanimate her. It was Iris. I said I couldn't reanimate something that wasn't dead, and he said that wouldn't be a problem. So I agreed. I just played along. I was hoping it wasn't real. I assumed it wasn't real. But he was offering me what I wanted, a temporary insanity diagnosis. It didn't happen. Dr. Decker called me from his house to cancel. He was furious. He said that Iris had escaped and he blamed me for it. He said that I must have set her free after he told me about her. I knew it was all lies anyways. He was obviously titillating himself by reprimanding me. He knew I'd never want to speak to Iris again, so I couldn't prove it either way.
I bet you Nathan was the pallbearer.
Bryce was a pallbearer for David.
Bryce.
He's also a gravedigger, I believe. Smuggling a body out of a funeral can be difficult, unless you pay the right people.
So Bryce dug up her husband?
Dr. Decker asked if I could prove David wasn't dead, so I took him to the lake house. He saw that I was telling the truth. I can take you to see him too, if you like. Would you like to see David, Doctor?
I sure would.
Very well. In our next session.
Girl, bye.
A paper spike is an odd thing to use as a weapon.
What's up, SB?
I suppose if it went directly into the heart, it might work. Or through his eye, or perhaps through the ear into his brain. Or was it just a frenzied, bloody mess of a murder? Do you know, Doctor? You tell me. What could possibly explain that?
Are you lying about never seeing Decker outside of your sessions? Do you speak to the girl at the lake house?
If David doesn't exist, then that means that I really did kill him. He really is buried, and I really should be going to prison for a very long time. That just doesn't seem right to me. It's more probable that I reanimated him under Dr. Decker's
Who do I
guidance.
think is the killer? I think it's either Bryce or Nathan.
How astute, Doctor. Yes, I did say I hadn't seen Dr. Decker outside of our sessions. That wasn't a lie. Our trip to the lake house was made during a session.
Girl, so you seeing his ghost?
I assure you, David is not a ghost. I've touched him.
You need to be in a padded room.
Since I brought him back, I felt that there was something different about him. Something
Mike?
not
How
quite
you
right.
doing?
I think it's his brain. But how ludicrous that you can bring someone back in the first place. It's like that book, Pet Cemetery. Funnily enough, he does smell of earth, but that's because he spends most of his time out hunting. I didn't speak to her this time. Something about her made me feel uneasy. I just watched her from the bedroom window. She'd caught a fish. She was holding it in her
I'm good,
hands.
Mike. Having a better day than yesterday.
I wasn't close enough to see, but for all intents and purposes, it looked as if the fish bit her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive.
She need to be in a padded room. And this damn people, this Bryce is a pervert. So we got two perverts in the building.
Hello, Doctor. I've been thinking about our last session, and I just wanted you to know that I'm not a bad person. I know taking naked photographs is wrong, but you don't know what it's like until you face the same temptation. I'm assuming you don't know what it's like. Do you have an extra hour, Doctor? You're playing games with me, Doctor. I was going to tell you what I know about the murder weapon, but now, well, now you just have to go without. I overheard your assistant earlier. I know about that paper spike. It was sharp. What I really wanted to tell you was, there's someone else in my hour. A hooded figure, watching me and following me. I followed it too.
SB with the 5 months VIP. Let's go. I appreciate you. Let me shout you out, even though everybody in here know you. I ain't taking
I don't know
that
who
enough.
it
Y'all
is.
give me some more motherfucking
My initial
money.
thought was that it was you. That I told you about my affliction and somehow you'd got it too. Now I think maybe it's the military or some organization that wants to use the hour themselves. Maybe it's Dr. Decker risen from the dead. I need to talk to you about him. I'm surprised I haven't been approached earlier. I mean, my skills in the military.
Yes, I did.
Special
SB.
ops would be a
I
breeze,
did.
wouldn't it? Waltz in past
Yes.
everyone during the midnight hour, get whatever you want,
That's
and
you.
return to friendly soil. It also makes me think that they might already know all of that, and that they want to get rid of me in case I tell anyone else. Would you do something for me if they get me?
See, you need to be in that padded room too.
Would you tell Jessica I love her? She didn't really know me that well, but
I'm funny.
I did love her.
Well, you know,
And
I
also,
try.
there's a hard
I
drive in the
try.
bottom drawer of my drinks cabinet. Please destroy it. Please, don't look at it.
He got naked photos on that hard drive.
Whatever it is that's following me, it doesn't want to catch
Hey,
me
Jenny,
yet.
how you doing?
If I move towards it, it runs away. And when I follow it past temptations. A bar brawl, an open till,
I feel like it's
an
him.
open
I feel
bedroom
like it's
window.
either him
Like
or
it's
Nathan.
testing me.
What's up, DJ? What's up, youngin? Tell me about the bar brawl.
I split the brawl up.
Okay.
I did nothing. I'm not stealing
I'm
anymore.
good, DJ.
I looked in. Watching other people is somehow built into our genes, Doctor. There was an old woman in
I'm
bed.
good, Jenny.
I went inside. Her bed covers
Wow,
were smoking.
yes,
I think she'd fallen asleep holding a cigarette.
DJ, you're the
I took the
same
covers
age
and
as
put
my
them in the bar.
oldest. Both
She'd
of
have
y'all
died
are
otherwise.
27. Yes, she's almost 32.
And no, I didn't take any pictures.
So, you're a youngin. Did you bury?
I'm actually a classically trained pallbearer. There are a lot of health and safety considerations. Not everybody can do it. Well, properly at least. Occasionally I step in if the funeral director is short-shouldered. I do remember her face. She wasn't upset in the usual way. She seemed agitated. Her husband must have been a giant. The coffin was so heavy. I remember because aft port
Hey,
side
not
sprained his
welcome.
ankle. That and he wasn't lifting correctly.
Welcome. Playing a murder mystery game. Trying to find out which one of these crazy person killed Dr. Decker.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, Doctor. I saw Claire Castleford's husband in the coffin myself before carrying him to the grave. He is in the ground. I'm sure it wouldn't take much for the police to get an order to have him exhumed. Just make sure it's done on Tuesday morning.
I knew she was
when I'm
lying.
off.
Yes, yes. Tell me about the no, tell me about the paper.
Dr.
spike.
Decker frequently used that paper spike on his
appreciate
desk
you.
as an example.
Not
I'm
your
sure he
copy.
did it with the other patients too. He'd make me look at it, touch the point to see how sharp it was. He'd tell me that because I think it's sharp, it will hurt me. But if I thought it was nothing, it could pass right through my hand.
Dr. Decker sound like he need to be in the padded room too.
I spied on Dr. Decker, not long before he was murdered. I'm not sure I should tell you what I saw. in his basement.
What's in his basement? Oh, you just not gonna leave us hanging.
I'd been feeling uneasy with Dr. Decker for some time. I mentioned how he'd changed before, so I began spying on him at home. One night, the basement door was open, and Decker was returning upstairs. I skipped past him, and there she was, a girl. It was difficult to tell. It was dark,
Oh, crazy, yeah.
and she was chained.
Three of them is more crazier than the other one. Like, Bryce is out there. Claire is out there. Elaine is out there. Dr. Decker was out there.
I removed the chains, dressed her, and sat her in the police station. There's no evidence, though. No evidence of what he'd done. But she was free. I saved her. I'm not evil. I destroyed evil.
See, I destroyed evil.
Jessica is a beautiful woman. I've not spied on her since the incident we talked about. I have real feelings for her, Doctor. We've never connected.
Because she don't want your crazy ass.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. It's nice you think I'm capable of such basic interaction with females. But I'm still in awe of her, really. I will think about it, though. I put my hand through a rusty nail at work today. It hurt like hell and bled like I'd been shot. I closed my eyes and thought, this isn't happening. The nail is just a worm, and it will wriggle through me. When I looked back, can you guess what I saw? When I looked back at my hand,
What did you see?
it was healed. Look, see? My hand had healed. The nail had become a worm and was wriggling in my palm. It was like a little miracle. Like magic.
Oh, Lord.
I shouldn't really say miracle or magic. They're words that Dr. Decker used when he tried to get you to think things and make them real. But do you think it's real, Doctor? That magic is real?
No.
And so it isn't. I envy you, Doctor. I wish I could be so sure. I find using nautical terms to describe the position of pallbearers fitting. Plus, most of them are 3 sheets to the wind. You know, drunk.
I'm fine. I'm ready for my grief counselling. I emailed you Mariana's address. I don't know why you'd want it. I suppose you're going to start doing home visits now, like Dr. Decker?
No. Yeah, why would I want... I didn't ask for
Doctor,
that.
if you don't want it, don't text me and ask for it. It's all right. I don't mind doing menial tasks for you. Someone has to do them. Yes, Dr. Decker started doing
up,
home
Luna?
visits for Mariana. He said she couldn't concentrate properly in his office. I hope you're not thinking of doing the same thing. I need you right where I can see you.
Who's using my phone texting? Because, I'm pretty sure I put I'm not doing home visits for you.
Checks and balances, Doctor. Somebody needs to be watching the watchman, so to speak. Make sure you're helping, not hindering. He probably did his fair share of helping and hindering. He was definitely helping in the beginning, but then seemed to lose sight of things. I think he was so overwhelmed by the patients he was getting. His curiosity just got the better of him. There was a definite turning point. Somewhere around the time Professor Alderby turned up, that seemed to unsettle him. And then we had a flood of extra weird patients. I think it was all too much for him. I think I misjudged him.
Here, but
I hope you deal with it
her
better.
husband is dead. She's been charged with murder.
Grief is such a strange word if you keep saying it. Grief, grief, grief. It sounds like somebody's being whipped. And you're going to ask me how I feel today?
I did ask you how you feel today.
I think that's all settled now. We are agreeing to pay Ben £5,000 and he's agreeing not to say anything about what he saw.
What did Ben
He
see?
thought he saw a creature coming out of Dr. Decker's mouth. Well, at least that's the reason he's given for not emptying the bins that night. Either way, it's not the kind of publicity that we need. Shiny, happy, sane people.
What's up, Sosa? It might have been Ben. Ben probably thought he saw a creature come out and stabbed him.
It's in that police report that I gave to you. You should really take a look at it. Some mornings I come into work and still expect him to be here. Sometimes it feels like he actually is here, watching over me. We had a connection. It's gone now, though. You can't have a connection with the dead, can you? Not for too long, anyway. Dr. Decker asked me to have dinner with him for Valentine's. I refused, obviously, because you don't sleep where you eat or something like that. But it was flattering, especially with competition like Mariana around.
I know me and Luna watched it.
Sorry, I didn't mean I was competing. I was happy Mariana was going out with him. I didn't want to be romantic with him. We had a stronger connection than that. Dr. Decker and I shared some philosophy. We'd both read The Cult of the Kinetic Mind, and we agreed with a lot of what it said. Have you read that book, Doctor? In Cult of the Kinetic Mind, the author suggests that everyone is capable of psychokinesis and that the cult leaders specifically had these powers that turned their followers into disciples. It's not a fun read, but if you're into psychology, it's a blast.
All right, you just made the list, ma'am.
Psychokinesis is the ability to change the physical world without actually touching it, just by using your mind. It's not just about bending spoons. It covers all sorts of things like telepathy, telekinesis, telesabalas. Shoot me, I'm a Kojak fan. Like I said, all those cool things are in Cult of the Kinetic Mind, apart from Kojak, obviously. If you ever get a patient who thinks they can change the world with just their mind, then duck, just in case they can. But seriously, do a whole load of shrinking and make them better. Whether you believe in psychokinesis or not, you'll need to figure out your approach with those that do. How do you make people who think they have special powers better? Do you remain passive and support, encourage them, take them away? That's what I'd try to do. No, not at all in my experience. Dr. Decker had an unusual number of patients who claimed psychokinesis. Either he'd been specifically looking for them or someone had been sending them. It's entirely possible that someone is targeting this practice with psychokinetic patients. To what end, I don't know. It's no coincidence that most psychokinetic patients are diagnosed as insane, or at least temporarily insane. It's a handy diagnosis if you're facing criminal prosecution, especially if it's for murder. I was at home on my lonesome, Doctor, like I said before. Honestly, I think Dr. Decker had a bit of a crush on Mariana, or vice versa. I'm not really sure. There's some footage from their home sessions if you want to see them. That was a joke, Doctor. I guess we found our level.
Why would she say that? Like, you trifling. Why is this?
Oops, that was a strange thing to say, wasn't it? Whipped. Am I all whips and chains in the bedroom or dominant in the boardroom? Don't answer that, it's not a question. It's early days for a harassment suit yet, what with Ben's nervous shock already. Dr. Decker did send me to see his mother once. She was dying in a nursing home and he didn't want to see her. I remember him calling her a manipulative, evil old hag. You tend not to ask any more questions after that.
7 more meetings, that's a lot.
I didn't really speak to Nathan that much at all, but I have this strange feeling that I know him really well. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Professor Warwick.
Professor Warwick, I'm a physicist. Where's Dr. Decker? Is he really? Actually dead? Not a worthy adversary after all, then? Dr. Decker challenged me. He tried to use my theories against me. Quantum theories. Do you really want to know? Decker's eyes used to glaze over whenever we talked about that. He didn't believe in quantum physics. As if it's something that you can optionally believe in. Well, it started with an experiment.
And both of y'all got it wrong.
Have you heard of quantum suicide, Doctor? Quantum suicide is a thought experiment that tries to explain the many worlds theory. You're looking at me blankly. I can see that you don't understand. I knew you wouldn't. Alternate universes. Essentially, if I were to shoot myself, then in some alternate universe, I'd still be alive. Now imagine if I could actually choose that universe. I'm taking a product off a supermarket shelf. Well, I simply applied that logic to something different. Gambling. I set up an experiment whereby I would visit a casino and place a very large bet at a roulette table. Now, I would always bet on odd. Now, the results of this particular experiment were mundane. I won as many times as you would expect according to the laws of probability. But then, I changed a parameter.
The hell was that?
Why not gambling? My wife, Vanessa, left me for a neurosurgeon. She emptied our entire combined wealth into her barrister's wallet. I needed more money. Physics provided me with a solution. quantum suicide required a loss of life to make it a realistic thought experiment. So I simply upped the stakes. Every time I bet on odd, I would place everything I had on that one spin of the wheel, and it worked. Well, for a while. Dr. Decker killed it, and I can't get it back.
Man, you got angry real quick.
Well, my theory, quantum gambling. If the stakes are high enough, you will win every time by simply shifting your consciousness into that branch that wins. It's tricky, but it can be done. Dr. Decker didn't like that. He saw me becoming rich and powerful, and he hated that. That's why he proffered the hangman's paradox.
What you getting us for lunch?
Well, imagine a judge sentences you to death. Now, it will be Monday or Tuesday next week, but it will be a surprise. Well, which day do you think you'll be executed? Honestly? Well, I think he feared quantum physics. He didn't like things being explained in terms of science, almost as if he'd have preferred chaos.
He sound like he do prefer chaos.
Well, Monday does seem likely, yes. Because if you're still alive on Monday at midnight, then Tuesday won't be a surprise. But if you're sure that it's Monday, then that won't be a surprise either, will it? Decker tricked me.
It's snowing now. It's, I think it rained last night and the rain like froze.
He told me that sometime in the future I would lose a bet, that I would lose all of my money. Now, this didn't seem likely because I had quantum gambling on my side and it was working. But he unnerved me. He made me doubt myself. And then it happened. Recently, I lost everything that I'd managed to build up since Vanessa left me. We were married for 14 years, 7 months, and 3 days. Vanessa
14 hours and 5 minutes.
Couldn't have children.
30
At
seconds.
least that's what she told me. She grounded me in reality. I'm not complaining. It's probably what I needed. But part of me always thought that one day I'd achieve immortality through science and we'd be... It wasn't to be, though. Well, yes, it bothered me, especially now that I find out that she's pregnant. Oh, no, it wasn't a rocket scientist that was required, but a brain surgeon, it seems. I have considered putting that neurosurgeon into his darkest timeline. But I'm not a killer, it would seem. I was at a fundraiser for a charity called Mindstretch Outreach. Don't know how I got roped into that, I can't remember. But it was full of very clever children with bizarre outlooks on life. And
I didn't do none
Jaya.
of that.
It was Jaya who asked me to go.
If I can go anywhere, where would it be? That was the question?
Oh, she's Dr. Decker's lovely assistant. I imagine she's your lovely assistant now. Yeah, she always smiles and makes me a cup of tea before a session. That smile. Which reminds me, my session. Can we talk about my problem now?
If I can make any law, what would it be? I have to think about that.
I'm not a gambler, Doctor. I'm a
Working out,
scientist.
Staying healthy.
I
Me too, Luna.
need more money. It's true, I've run out of money for my research. An opportunity has arisen.
Probably free health care for everybody. What's Mind Stretch outreach?
It's full of poor kids with very capable minds. I did give them a talk on quantum tunneling once, and they loved it. Not sure it'll put dinner on the table for any of them, though. Oh, you're going to have to Google that, Doctor, I'm afraid. I'm not a walking Wikipedia. I'd love to tell you, but I am paying you by the hour. Maybe look up Schrödinger's cat whilst you're there. Quantum gambling. It's a pet project. It's got nothing to do with work. But if I don't have significant amounts of money to lose, then there won't be enough jeopardy for the experiment to work. A very wealthy group of individuals have offered to pay me a very large sum of money if I attend their next private soiree. They don't want a talk or anything like that. They want a practical demonstration. Well, the Ministry of Defence, of course. Guns aren't going to win the next war. Quantum physics is. They'll pay me £1 million if I can successfully survive 6 rounds of Russian roulette. Now, I am worried because of what Dr. Decker said, but, well, I can't help but thinking that the stakes are so high I can't possibly lose.
6 rounds of Russian roulette.
What do you think, Doctor?
For £1 million.
Should I take them up on their offer?
Hey, knock yourself out, bro.
No. No, I suppose you're right. In a darker timeline, you probably said yes, and I'm dead now. I earn good money where I work. How do I stop losing it?
Stop gambling.
I take your point. But I suppose to decide whether to continue gambling or to stop gambling is a gamble within itself, isn't it? Well, my time is up. Will we be having another session or... No, don't answer that. It'll turn you into a gambler like me. Infectious, isn't it?
That was everybody, right? Wait, go back. So we're down to the next day.
You can stop looking at me like that. You've made me do this. And don't try and escape. You're all tied up.
I knew it.
Now tell me the truth. Is this a dream?
It better be a dream.
That's a good doctor. Yes, it's all a big dream. So let's get down to business. Do you believe that people can have kinetic powers?
What, you gonna beat me if I say no? Oh, she
I
did!
think you like it when I hurt you, Doctor. That's a worrying sign. People obviously have kinetic powers. That's how I'm here. Testing you. Now, how do we treat people with kinetic powers? Do we encourage them or do we discourage them?
Bruh, she just slapped the taste out of my mouth.
Very good, Doctor. That's the right answer. Remember it, or there will be consequences. Now, since I'm here, let's have a little bit of fun. Shall we, Doctor?
There's someone else in my hour.
I brought David back to life.
I removed the chains, dressed her,
It was Iris.
We could try shifting now.
Would you like to see David, Doctor?
Sorry.
We both read The Cult of the Kinetic Mind.
I'm not broke.
It's no coincidence that most psychokinetic patients are
Grateful if you could see your way to declaring me
insane, or at least
temporarily insane.
There was no flame. And then there was.
I'll kiss a guy,
I pretended like the hypnosis had worked.
and then he just follows me
Can we maybe not talk about Hannah anymore?
wherever I go.
It may just still pull out in front of the driver.
I'm still appalled that this bitch slapped the shit out of me just now.
Morning, Doctor. You're looking a bit unwell. Are they getting you all wound up? Well, have a look at this. I found it in Dropbox. Apparently, Dr. Decker lent Mariana some money. Sounds dodgy, doesn't it? I also got the toxicology report back from Officer Yates, and shocker, Dr. Decker had... Sorry, you just have to read it. I should have spoiler alert tattooed on my forehead. And can we not do the grief counselling thing today? I'm all sorts of behind on work and I'm getting more stressed out watching it all pile up. If you need anything though, I'm here.
Maybe I should avoid her till later.
What's temazepam? Why are you asking? Dr. Decker prescribed me some temazepam once, but I never used them. I probably still have them if you want them back.
Maybe they all killed him. They all had a part.
You reminded me the sleeping pills were called temazepam. I'm not trying to hide anything, Doctor. I'll look for them when I get home. I may have given some away at a nightclub. You can get a buzz, if you know what you're doing.
That's why your ass be blacking out.
I feel thirsty, Doctor. And hot. Do you have any water? I've been drinking a lot of water recently. I didn't go to the beach. I didn't go to the sea. I said I would, but I didn't. I've been feeling this way for a while. It's like it's getting worse because I didn't go to the sea. It's like I'm having... I don't feel well. I feel sick most of the time, dizzy, thirsty. I got a head fog like you wouldn't believe. My doctor, Dr. Rose, sent me for blood tests. Dr. Rose thinks maybe I have a vitamin deficiency. I can tell she has no idea. She smiles, but she hasn't got any answers. I think I probably need to go back to the beach. The sea, Doctor. It's calling me.
She wanted all the juice fresh. She looked thirsty. She said she needs some water.
This sounds crazy, but I can hear the sea. It's like an alarm going off in my head. Do you know where the sea is? From here? It's over there. Wherever I am, I know exactly where the sea is. It's like a compass. I have this recurring dream. I'm at the beach.
I'm on the beach.
I strip and walk into the sea. The sea feels warm and comforting. Not cold and harsh like you'd think. I swim down to the bottom of the ocean. I can breathe freely. I can breathe water. On the ocean floor ahead of me, there's a beautiful creature. A glowing being with wispy limbs. It's so warm. I'm transfixed. But my feet shift. I'm unsteady. Below me, the floor is woven in human flesh. Dead bodies, but some of them still struggling for life. These are the ones touching me, gripping my feet. I scream. That's when I wake up. Do you have that dream, Doctor?
If I had that dream, I'd be sitting on the couch with you, fool.
It's horrific and beautiful at the same time. It's a dream, Doctor. Stranger things happen in dreams. Do you forget anything from our sessions, Doctor? People follow me to the beach. I don't know who they are, and I don't know what happens to them. I don't always get followed, though, so it doesn't explain my blackouts.
Sounds like Texas.
I said I don't know what happens to them. It's not always to the beach. Sometimes they follow me home. My home is in Chantry. You know that. You rang my doorbell last night.
Girl, bye.
I don't know. I didn't kiss you, but you just followed me, like the others. I don't feel comfortable here, Doctor. I'd like to leave.
You know what? I think the assistant is doing this. Jaha, or whatever how you say her name, Jaya, is fucking with everybody's mind.
He lent me some money to start my business. It was a proper agreement. I remember signing things. He thought that a distraction would do me good. I don't think he expected me to trawl the beach for treasure and sell it online. Dr. Decker thought I had too much time on my hands, so a distraction would do me good. He lent me $15,000, all in all.
Dr. Decker? You sleeping with this child for $15,000?
I hear a sound like singing, calling me. It gets stronger when I face it, when I move towards it.
I'm telling y'all, that assistant.
That's how I know where the sea is.
That's where I'm going.
But when I don't go to the sea, I feel like the sound gets louder all the time. I'm having trouble
15,
sleeping.
Not 50.
Perhaps I need sleeping tablets after all. Dr. Decker kept a bottle of whiskey, or maybe gin. I'm not sure. It was in his desk at all times, and when things got a little intense, he'd pour himself a glass.
You don't even look good. Now
it's obviously an effect I have on people.
Gonna be red hairs everywhere. Hard to get out too. Don't ask how. I'm not gonna ask you, cause look, you on some.
Wow. So you think I spiked his drink and killed him with a paper spike? Nice.
Nah, I never thought you did it. That's Fresh think you killed him. I don't think you killed
Wouldn't
him.
you like to know? I'm not hiding anything. It's just a game, Doctor. I like playing games.
It's redhead Karen.
If you say so, it must have been your twin then.
I didn't ring your doorbell. I don't want you.
I don't know if I have a twin. Do you have a twin, Doctor? I know you don't. It was definitely you, wearing what you're wearing now. No, there's been no dancing. I haven't been feeling that well, Doctor. He's the cute, sad-looking one, isn't he? He asked me out, and I said I'd let him know. Do you think I should go out with him? Okay, but if he goes missing, don't go looking at me.
Why would he go missing? If it was me, tell me what I had on then.
You said it with such a serious look on your face, I almost believed you.
She moved too much in that seat.
It would be
She a
good
hot
if you
ass.
had some kind of superpower that helped me.
I don't think
But I don't
it's her
think
at
so.
all.
It's a referral letter, Doctor. Don't overthink it. A girl can't be too careful with everything that's been going on.
Did I stop? Why did I skip Nathan? Nathan, what you doing?
I'm feeling good. I ran into one of your other patients, Mariana. She's beautiful. I think we might go on a date. Temazepam is the same sleeping pill Dr. Decker prescribed me. Why would he mix those with
Everybody
alcohol?
got that
People are such idiots.
pills. Everybody has those pills.
Which reminds me, that truck driver died. The truck driver that ran into Hannah. He was divorced apparently. He killed himself. He mixed sleeping pills with alcohol too. But he died in his garage.
And his what?
I read it in the paper. He'd been drinking. Then he took the sleeping pills. Then he went into his garage and put the hose pipe through his window. Not until he put his daughter in the seat first.
The way he says garage is hilarious.
It's one of those newspaper stories you read and you hope it says he leaves behind his wife and 7-year-old daughter. But his daughter was in the car. Do you know I wrote him a letter? Dr. Decker told me one of the ways to get through my grief would be to write a letter to the truck driver. I tried to forgive him. I know it was my fault, but the thing that made me feel best was blaming him. I think maybe he killed himself because of me. Do you think I'm to blame, Doctor? His daughter's picture was in the paper. Molly.
Molly. And he took pills.
Ever since I saw a picture in the paper, I've started thinking I could see her. Out of the corner of my eye. Like she's watching me. Crazy, right? What are you trying to do most? Cure his patients or find out who killed him?
I'm trying to find out who killed him.
Well, at least you're being honest. Do you know that Dr. Decker thought one of his patients was trying to kill him? He told me in one of our sessions, which was later rewound, that someone had been leaving him messages on his prescription pad. Not good messages. He didn't tell me anything specifically, just death threats. It was one of his many rants. I just sat there quietly, hoping he wasn't going to try and hypnotize me again. I asked him if it was a boy or a girl's handwriting. He said he knew who it was, and that they'd be in trouble. I think he was bluffing. Alcohol isn't something I usually notice on people until they're slurring and weaving around. Was Dr. Decker an alcoholic? Probably. I never saw him drink, though. My solicitors assured me that I wouldn't have to discuss anything about my trial with you, so I'm not going to. Concentrate on my state of mind, and let me worry about other things.
Okay. Don't get slapped.
Please do. I wish I could believe you. I can't really explain it, but she seems like such a friendly person. I think the police are barking up the wrong tree. I think I've probably said too much. It's probably not the same girl anyway.
I don't want to talk about grief today. I'm getting enough grief from work.
I know you slapped me again. We're going to be fighting in this office.
I don't know if you know, but Professor Alderby used to be my professor. He teaches history and psychology, amongst other things. I know it's not technically work, but he asked if I would allow him to have the video footage of his sessions with Dr. Decker. Dr. Decker wanted to be removed from all of the videos, so it's jump cut up to jump cut, but I'm sure you've already noticed that. I didn't think you'd mind, since it wasn't your case anyway. Mostly it's the professor talking about how he viewed reality back then, in so much as he thought it was changeable. There's nothing else to do but watch while things are encoding. Psychokinetics, remember? Cult of the Kinetic Mind? Professor Alderby said it was recommended reading to help psychiatrists in their frontline battle with insanity, he likes to call it. Professor Alderby saw the relationship between psychiatrist and patient as a winnable battle. The patient must be cured by removing their psychokinetic ability, if present, either by telling them it doesn't exist or by using another psychokinetic ability to negate it. It's a long time ago, I can't remember all of it.
I think it's her.
There was a specific example.
After she slapped the shit out of me.
If someone tells you they can fly, you tell them you control air currents and that from now on they won't be allowed to use them. This would normally stimulate the brain in such a way that the patient stopped thinking they could fly. The main danger as the therapist is believing that you can control air currents. The danger of pretending you have psychokinetic abilities is that you may start believing you have them and then have them. It's the paradox of the cure. Dr. Decker loved paradoxes. His favourite was the grandfather paradox. If you can travel back in time and kill your grandfather, then you cannot be born.